Morning, kids. It's Mr. Darcy here again. Hope you all are having a great day, a beautiful day out here by the lake again. Really enjoying it here. As you know, we're coming to the end of our study of the book of Philippians, which is the letter that Paul wrote to the church in Philippi, as we've talked about. And as you may remember, Paul was a prisoner. He was being held against his will, not allowed to go anywhere and do what he wanted to do because of his faith in Jesus. And he was going to stand some trials for that. Well, I'll be honest with you. I have felt a little bit like a prisoner here the last several months. Haven't been told I can't do the certain things that I want to do and go the places I want to go, and be encouraged to stay at home. Now, it's not as bad as Paul's situation where he had a guard and he was forced to stay there. We've had a little bit more freedom, but I'm sure maybe you felt a little bit like that too, not being able to go and do what you want, where you want to go, and what we've been used to doing. And of course, that can lead to being a little bit of unhappy and maybe grumbling about the situation and just being discontent with what's being imposed on us, right? The whole situation. Well, Paul talked about that in his letter to the Philippians. Let me read you what he said exactly. And we can find this beginning in chapter 4, verse 11. And Paul says, "For I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need. I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do everything through him who gives me strength." So Paul, he was okay, maybe not really happy with being held prisoner and told he can't go places and go visit his churches and his friends and be there in person. But he was learning how to be content or okay with it. In fact, he said his secret to contentment was staying focused on Jesus. If you can keep your focus on Jesus, that was allowing him to remember that there's something more important than being able to go and do whatever I want, whenever I want, or have more, eating and all the things that can cause us to be unhappy or discontent. But he decided to make the most of it. So what he did is he wrote letters. He wrote letters to the church in Philippi, which we've been reading, but he wrote a lot of other letters to other churches and other Christians and places that he helped them to come to know Jesus and help to start the churches. So he's using this time to write letters to people. And those same letters that he wrote to encourage and to teach, here, almost 2,000 years later, we're still reading those same letters and we're using them to apply to our situation in our lives right now. And so, even though it's been 2,000 years, a lot of the same things that make us unhappy and discontent with our situation and things in life are the same things that they were dealing with back then. So it's important to remember, like Paul said, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. So keep the focus on Jesus, even in this time when it's hard to do that sometimes, or hard to be content. I hope you all have a great week. And remember, I love you and I miss you. Bye-bye.